big cat. Welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat Water Signs. Welcome or welcome back to Big Cat Astrology, Big Cat Wave, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising. The planetary hot topics to add to your almanac over the next 7 days. But first, before we get into that, let's quickly talk about what the 20th of January 2024, a monumental celestial event unfolded as the generational planet Pluto entered Aquarius, initiating a transformative phase that will extend for the next 19 years. This cosmic shift urges you to be exceptionally focused on embracing changes that have the power to profoundly transform your life. The directive is clear. Release negative energies, seize control of your future, and embark on a journey for inventiveness and unconventionality. Pluto's transformative force entering visionary Aquarius not only promises individual shifts, but also hints at broader societal dynamics undergoing transformative changes. A collective awakening to progressive ideals is anticipated, reminiscent of historical events. Approximately 248 years ago was when Pluto was last in Aquarius, coinciding with what? The French and American revolutions, the expansion of the British Empire and the onset of the Industrial Revolution, as well as Napoleon Bonaparte's rise both in military and the political spheres. The message is that Pluto in Aquarius is a once-in-a-lifetime big deal, echoing the potential for significant historical and personal shifts. On the 24th of January, the moon in Cancer trines Neptune in Pisces. This celestial configuration offers an opportune time for extending a helping hand to others. It's also a favourable period for engaging in activities such as goal setting, meditation, psychic practices, tarot readings, astrology, and fostering intimate connections. On the 25th, you have the full moon in Leo, described as a surge of creativity, romance and love. This event prompts you to be more affectionate, indulge in hobbies, take breaks from work and connect with your heart. The metaphorical reminder is that the whole world is a stage and everyone is an actor. It encourages embracing the year with open arms and a bold roar. You also have the Sun in Aquarius squaring Jupiter in Taurus, creating a day with a double-edged sword. While it instills confidence, a cautionary tale is sounded, warning against the potential transformation of confidence into ego, which is no one's amigo. The advice is to be bold, but not foolish during this period. On the 27th, Uranus is direct in Taurus, against the backdrop of a year marked by fundamental changes. Uranus turns direct in the steadfast sign of Taurus on the 27th, signifying its intensified impact on everyone. The message is clear. To witness change, one must actively be the change. The call to action is to initiate and create the changes desired. On the 28th, Venus in Capricorn trines Jupiter in Taurus, bringing a stroke of luck. This auspicious day invites you to feel good about your endeavours, fostering opportunities for steady partnerships that can weather the ups and downs of life. It's a day to put down roots with someone special, with promising opportunities in various aspects of your life. You also have Venus in Capricorn sextiling Saturn in Pisces, enhancing the prospects of connections with older, more established individuals. This period is deemed favorable for business dealings, particularly those related to art and luxury. Seeking favors from individuals with prestige and wealth is also opportune. Also, you have Mercury in Capricorn trining Uranus in Taurus. This celestial event signals the potential opening of new doors and advises you to prepare for positive news in your career and finances. Challenges may be overcome with determination and a level-headed approach. On the 29th, Mars in Capricorn trines Uranus in Taurus, encouraging you to step out of your comfort zone. This celestial aspect promotes making professional connections that can trigger positive changes. The advice is to embrace the uniqueness and adopt unconventional approaches, even breaking down doors if necessary to achieve your desired goals. On the 30th, the moon in Libra squares Venus in Capricorn, making a period where dealing with other people may be less appealing, especially if they are perceived to be annoying. I was trying to be nice. The recommendation is to practice patience with others and allow yourself to a break during this time. You also have the moon in Libra trining Pluto in Aquarius. This alignment suggests an active emotional life during this period. Maintain balance as the desire for adventures, extreme actions, travel, and the discovery of new places may be heightened. It is considered an excellent time for decluttering, discarding unnecessary people, places, and things, and possibly undergoing a beauty makeover. Please stay tuned in for the tarot reading to follow. Big cat wave! Ha ha! Namaste! Grand Rising water signs, welcome or welcome back for your next 7 days. Messages or massages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Let's dive right in and unpack. The weather in the UK is getting rambunctious. The wind is building up, darling dears. It's not the weather for a lace front, woolly hat, and neat cane rolls or corn rolls underneath, darling dears. But if you're a big cat, you're already prepared. Ha ha! You stay ready so you don't have to get ready when it's time to be ready. Your numbers are 1 and a 4, darling dears. You have the energy of what? Evaluate everything. Let nothing pass your eye chakras without full-on scrutinization and understanding of what's going on. You will have a major decision to make, darling dears, but don't attempt the major decision until after the next new moon. The next new moon will be the 9th of February in Aquarius, darling dears. You also have the energy of the 3. The 3 comes with what? Confusion, darling dear. Arguments, nerve-wracking time where people want to be what? Tongue wrestling with you, darling dears. They want all the smoke, right? They see that your life path is about to take a different route or route from them, darling dears. They, them, and Expect this to be a sudden and dramatic change, darling dears. You may be feeling rebellious, like you want to tell them love and light and all of this and that. No, you are Big Cat, and Big Cat is what? The move in silence champion. Use diplomacy and silencio, darling dears, and continue with what you're planning. You have the energy of a 4, darling dears. The number 4 is represented by Uranus. It's also represented by the master number 22. It tells me that you are building a vision, a new vision for yourself, and you've been gifted with the tools. You are a natural leader, darling dears. You're going to be leading. You are in organization mode, darling dears, a full-on strategist. Your birthday could be the 4th,
the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st, or it's a significant day or number in your life, darling dears. The luckiest numbers for you over the next 7 days will be 2, 4, and 8. Your luckiest days will be Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. The number 4 is associated with the letters D, M, and V. And Uranus is associated with D, M, and T. It's a fixed air sign, darling dears. So this is about you being persistent and organized with what you're doing, darling dears. Yes, the change is hard, but it's necessary because you prefer the known. But the known is what? Making your heart go boom, diddy, boom, diddy, boom. And it's working on your hairline, black. Hey. Anyhow, let's press on. The number 4 is represented, darling dears. You're about to be in a position of leadership, whether it's in your job, your community, your school, or even in your life, darling dears. You are stepping up to the podium, the plate. The 1-4 also speaks about there's an issue with money. Somebody's in a relationship, possibly that doesn't have any children, but it's an issue with debts, darling dears. Good God. Did you get with a feeble-minded, someone who's a dummy bat, and an underhanded spendthrift? Good golly and gosh, that's a cut purse in your hemisphere, darling dears. The energy of the 4 in tarot, darling dears, is represented by the Emperor energy. This also speaks about you claiming dominion. Some of you will be coming out as an entrepreneur. But this is about you using your internal force, darling dears, to create a solid foundation for yourself. If you're single, you're about to meet the right partner. Big news is on the way, darling dears, but wisdom is for the wise. The number 4 is also representative of the 4th house, so it's in your element because this is Cancer energy. It speaks about ancestral protection, but it also speaks about family emotions. Emotions in a family is going to be extremely high, especially when you put your plan into motion, darling dears. The number 4 represents property, real estate. Not only that, somebody's coming to terms with conditions in their early life, darling dears, which has affected their trajectory up to this point. This is somebody securing their emotions, realizing that inner child wound is very important, and it must be addressed. The number 4 in an astrological aspect is represented by a square. So it speaks about frustrations and things being difficult. It's an impasse, darling dears, but it's what creates a new beginning, a fresh start. A new structure in your life. You are definitely on creator mode over the next 7 days. All right. I also took it upon myself, darling dears, to line up the 48 laws of power, because if you've been rocking with me for a while, you know how I love it so. Why? Because they're true, darling dears, and it works, right? I put all of the 48 laws of power into the 12 astrological houses and matched them up. The number 4 is represented by Law number 4, say less. Law number 10, avoid the unlucky and the unhappy. Law number 17, be unpredictable. Law 27, create a following, darling dears. Leadership, darling dears. Law number 43, influence hearts and minds. And Law number 44, disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Yeah. I also would like to go through another one, darling dears. Law number 9, win through your actions and not your words. We ain't got time to tongue wrestle and waste that energy when you could be building your own foundation, looking over, because evaluate could be a contract, darling dears, in case there's confusion in the small print. All right, let's get your oracle ancestral message and press on at a hot trot. Let's see if we've got the book. I believe this is the right book. Let me check to make sure. Yes, it is. Let's get your oracle ancestral message. This is the book. That's the name of the oracle deck. Gods, goddesses, and guardians. Oracle cards. Messages, ancestral messages for my water signs for the next 7 days. Yeah, you're making wise decisions. This is Athena. She's holding on to what looks like an Ace of Wands. An Ace of Wands is about you being passionate about a new beginning, because Wands is also about action, but it's also about you spiritually realizing that your time in a situation is over. You're making a wise decision. This is one person here. You have an owl on your shoulder. It speaks again of the wisdom being for the wise. It also speaks about what? Spirit, darling dears, divine being around you at this moment in time. The Ace of Wands, darling dears, lean in, bestie, lean in. You are inspired, and it's about you growing. It's your growth, your personal growth. You're about to take a risk, but a risk that is based on your confidence in this transformation, darling dears, that you are creating. Base of the deck, we've got a sacred marriage, darling dears. Maybe you was in a marriage, or you're going towards a sacred marriage. All right, let's look at the guidebook and see what it says. Athena. I'll give you a quick flash of what sacred marriage says as well. Page 48. The 4 and an 8 goes to a 12, which goes down to a 3. Empress energy. We already had Emperor energy. So it could be a sacred marriage for some, darling. There's the ones also speaks about intimacy, passion, and fire in a relationship. All right, let's see what it means. For you to screenshot and read at your leisure or leisure as you make this wise decision. All right. Get clarity, seek guidance and from trustworthy sources. Make a decision and trust it. This situation calls for clarity and wise counsel. Perhaps you've been listening to multiple opinions, conflicting information, or vague theories, ignoring your own inner wisdom. You're languishing in confusion and inaction. Self-doubt is weakening your energy field, yet Athena is here to help you act with decisiveness and purpose. With her gleaming sword of clarity, the goddess of wisdom lights up your spine and chakra points. She says, allow the energy from my sword to clear any unnecessary information or anything that's clouding your ability to think practically and wisely. Seek professional guidance and do research. You're a big cat. You're a keyboard gangster, darling. Just find out she's naive. Intel is a must. Recon, always. It didn't say that. I ad-lib it. Lifelong learning is the key to true wisdom. Only the foolish think they have nothing left to learn. You can be an ambassador of education and keep gaining new skills until the last breath on this planet. I will help you make an informed decision, and once you do that, the way ahead will become miraculously clear. You will feel calmer, more energized, and fully empowered. Sounded like it hadn't seen. Oh, there was additional meanings, darling dears. Your invocation. What does it say? Fruitful path in education, study, research, or teaching is opening up. If you have an important exams, assignments, or project deadlines, ask Athena to focus and guide you. A legal matter is divinely supported. Learn a new craft or trade. Athena guides you with your practical wisdom. Help me be focused and clear. Right, and now instead Mary Magdalene, I'll give you a quick flash. It's on page manifestation mode, darling dears. 111. Yeah. So it means that you are in manifestation mode. New beginnings are coming towards you, darling dears. Let's have a quick look and then we'll press on at a hot trot. You are your own twin flame. Spiritual wholeness leads to new experiences of intimacy and love. Good golly and gosh. Screenshot it and read at your leisure or leisure, darling dears. Okay. I'm going to keep this here because somebody is definitely going into a union. I couldn't help it. Watch your words. What did I say? Say less. Law number 4 of the 48 laws of power. Bestie, I didn't forget. Did you forget? I tell no one nothing. All right. Let's press on. Let's press on. I feel like we're guided to take some kind of oracle message because you're leaving a situation where there's going to be a lot of animosity, confrontation, a tight situation, darling dears, but you've got to be slick. A cat has 9 lives, darling dears. So you've got what? 9 plans. You're leaving a situation and there's a lot of jealous family around, darling dears. Nothing like what? The enemy within. Family members are jealous of you, darling dears. And they are what? Dumb as a crumb. Feeble-minded simpletons, darling dears. Merchants of slander, possibly on the balls of their feet. Creating more drama, trying to get you involved. And there's spell work. It may not be what? The hocus pocus kind, but it may not be the graveyard Watusi. But words are spells, darling dears. Sending that negative energy. This is also the down talking. Oh, can't call you everything but a child of God, darling dears. Wishing bad luck on you. Family members or people you once thought was your family, right? Conflict. Evaluate everything, darling dears. Remember, bestie, you are always the prize in every situation. Why? Because there's only one you. No one else is like you. And there'll never be nobody like you again once you're gone. Right? What did I say? You're being supported by your ancestral team, your security. Call them at any time. They cannot give you insight, guidance, unless you ask. And they are willing and waiting for you, darling dears. All right. Oops. Let me get the questions back up. We already know that we've got what? Pluto in Aquarius for the next 19 years, barring between the 1st of September and the 19th of November when it enters Capricorn. When Pluto goes into Capricorn, outdated system, darling dears, you're going to see big shifts in governments, churches, celebrities. I'm telling you, it's all going down Bobby Brown, darling dears. But at the moment, Pluto is in Aquarius, right? Go and watch my Pluto in Aquarius reading, darling dears, where it will give you the energy that you are embodying, the house that Pluto is in Aquarius is shining on for you for the next 19 years. You will be armed and dangerous. Then look at the house in juxtapose. Saying, for example, Pluto in Aquarius is in the 10th house for you, so it's about your reputation, your public standing. But it's also juxtaposed to the 4th house. So the 4th house is about family and roots. It's going to be some kind of skullduggery. You're leaving a situation behind, being more responsible, looking at your reputation. Why? Reputation is king, darling dears. Why? Hang with 4 bottom feeders. Guess who's going to be 5? Not the big cat. Using all sorts of spell work. What's the matter with these feeble-minded dummy bats? You see me bouncing up and down, yeah. Core ball keeps it tight and right, darling dears. And when you're working a lot and you're sedentary, it's not good for the body, the temple that you're in, to be sedentary for hours on end. And it's not always possible to get up and stretch. But with core ball, listen, the most steps I've done on my core ball in one day is 40,000 steps. I haven't reached that number since, but good God, I was vigorous that day. Let's carry on, darling dears. Base of your deck, we got the Queen of Pentacles. So you're looking at your worth, darling dears, considering your future. Something about looking for something online. Pentacles is something tangible, possibly a new home, a new job, a new career, whatever it is, darling dears. It also speaks about your mental health. Somebody's looking at their mental health in a situation, possibly with a feminine energy, or you are the feminine in the situation. Whatever it is, somebody's considering their future and looking at their self-worth. And they're adding tax. This is someone getting away from heartbreak, darling. There's quick, fast, and in a hurry. Oh, God. Oh, gosh. Right. Oh, yes, the energy of the Uranus, darling dears. Uranus is about technology. It's about being a rebel. This is about you being a humanitarian for yourself, darling dears, and bringing quick, sudden change. Remember, I told you that. All right. What's the overall theme for the water signs for the next 7 days? We've got the Queen of Wands, darling dears. Plan, plotting, and strategizing on the opportunities that you can create for yourself, darling dears. It also speaks about helping hands, but this is a highly spiritual number card, darling dears, because you are a water sign. Water signs is all about your subconscious mind. It's about your feelings, darling dears. It's about your passions, what you want to achieve. It's your vision, darling dears, and you taking action towards it. This is about, as I said, plan, plotting, and strategizing and moving forward. This is also you being attractive to many, darling dears. The Queen, are you kidding me? Blood, brass, stream. The Queen of Wands is fire and water energy. You are nurturing, darling dears. Extremely nurturing. Understanding. You're too understanding in a situation. Queen of Wands moves forward, natural born leader. But this is about you being slow to speak, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. How's your finances and work looking over the next 7 days? Somebody's a bit stressed out, darling dears. Worried. Why are you worried? Lack. Didn't I tell you someone is leaving a situation where someone is a spendthrift, a good time girl? Oh boy, good golly and gosh, somebody's leaving a situation. Yeah, work-wise. Yeah, because you're putting something on pause, darling dears. Your finances, somebody's looking at their finances and realizing they've been in a situation where there was too much celebrating going on. No stacking of the peas, blood. This is somebody who's going through a bit of rock pocketers. Buddy, if you got a dime. But this is also about you moving from the situation, darling dears. Once you realize that you don't have to sacrifice yourself to the situation, it's also a reminder to be careful because arguments may be afoot, darling dears. A tense, tight situation. The money. Let me get one more on the 5 of Pentacles because this is lack. Wanting to move away from over-celebrating and lack. Being stuck in a position where it's a glass ceiling. Yeah, the devil is present, darling. There's a lot of debauchery or negativity in a work situation. If it's a love situation, somebody's stressed out, darling. They don't want to listen. They're looking for some bitch be gone spray, darling. Yeah, someone is leaving a situation. Broke pocketers, buddy. Have you got a dime? But, however, you're leaving with no money, darling dears. But it's sowing the seeds of what your future. Moving away from something that we was leaning on. A hoe. Listen, baby, your money's looking good, but it's about you gathering yourself and leaving a circumstance or situation. What about my single water signs over the next 7 days? Be careful of, as I said, be careful of police or legal involvement, darling dears. Yeah, the singles are dropping a burden. Remembering your hairline. Don't want the reverse friar tuck anymore, eh? Okay. Clarify some more 10 of wands. Clarify the 10 of wands, base of the deck. Yeah, you're dropping down people that are codependent, people that made you vulnerable, people that didn't speak up for your darling dears, people that were possibly abusive, because you want to be a what? Happiness expert, darling dears. This is about you wanting to adopt the energy of, I don't know, a Shaolin monk on a fast of patience and peace. Yeah, putting the past behind you, darling dears. Yeah, because you're not allowing the same snake to bite you twice. Queen of Cups, you nurtured a situation that was a lie. Good God. All right, so single by choice, darling dears. Single by choice. And it's going to work out for you, darling dears. The best decision you ever made. Your mental health is going to look good. This is about you. When you get rid of the wrong energy in your life, darling dears, you open the doorway for what the right energies to come towards you. But whilst you're opening the doorway, you're in the DNS. What's that? The dark night of the soul. I had to look over my shoulder. Why? Because I'm the red light, green light champion of 79. Pinkies up. You are re-evaluating yourself, realigning yourself to your true life's purpose. Look at your North Node, darling dears. Look at your Lilith. Look at your Chiron. Your Chiron on your birth natal chart will give you the tools to heal yourself, darling dears. Your South Node will show you the situation that you've been living in, your comfort zone, which is kryptonite to a big cat. But you're going to a more stable surroundings. For others, you've got 10-10, a breakthrough with your finances. Yeah, a new job, maybe an entrepreneur, darling dears, or is this a benefactor, someone to support your system? Right. Why did I do that? I don't know. What about those in a relationship? Those water signs in a relationship over the next 7 days. Oh, they're not happy campers. Good God, maybe I should have done the relationship first and then gone straight to the single, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. But you have to go into the tunnel, darling dears. Yeah, there's some kind of verbal abuse, violence, unhappy home. It could also be cheating, darling dears. Yeah, someone who had their unsatisfied eyes. This is someone who had the means to move around, darling dears, and give to many. Good God. Habeas corpus is on said person. A cheater is in the midst. Cheated out of something, darling dears. Could be money, time, energy. And you're not going to argue and fight with them, darling dears. Listen. You're done with the juggling and the struggling, the arguing back and forth. It's affected your mental health and your physical health being in this situation. We've got this, look, this person's an energy vampire. They're a vampire. Big cat Leo energy, darling dears. Leo is what? Sun energy. Okay, let's lean in, bestie. Lean in, bestie. Are you listening? All right, sun energy. So it was something that was affecting your heart. You may have had blood pressure, spinal cord, so back issues, because when you're having relationship issues, it usually collects around your sacral chakra area, darling dears, right? Issues with your thymus. You had all sorts of issues, blood, all sorts of issues, right? It affected your nerves, your senses. You was like a humpback whale. With this, good God. This is someone who took a risk. This is a chance of somebody who is self-serving and self-satisfying, and you're not happy, blood. So what is the best advice? Leave them to their karma, darling dears. If you stay there, it will continue in the same way. Judgment card on its face is about you wanting to stay in a comfort zone just because you're used to it. But listen, it's because you was mind controlled. Yeah. Hoodwinked and gaslighted into this situation. I tell you, bestie, choose you in every situation. Why? If you don't put the oxygen mask on yourself, how can you help anyone else? Someone definitely would be happy for you to stay in that situation. This King of Pentacles, whomsoever that is to you, could be male or female, but this is not a happy relationship. Yeah. You will make the right connections, but you have to leave the past behind. And it also speaks about a payment coming towards you. Someone's going for the cash and the stability, the property, darling dears. And they don't want to get back with this person. They're creating a new option for their life. Good God. Wise decisions, darling dears. It was a sacred marriage. Look, that was nothing but betrayal and heartbreak. Good God, the lies. Good God, the lies had lies. About your health. I am not a medical profession in the sense of a doctor or I don't know, a dentist, whatever the health issue is for you. I'm just going by the messages from the cards. If you've got an issue, please go and consult a medical professional in the field that your ailment is in to get a true prognosis. All right, about the health of my Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Yeah, your health has not been looking good, darling dears. But you see, the thing is, right, you was in a situation where you was up amongst many, possibly jealous family members, darling dears. Maybe they weren't your family. Maybe you took on someone else's family. We saw childless marriage, darling dears. Yeah. It's because of the environment that you're in, darling dears. It's not happy. It's not stable. There's arguments, fight, scandal. Yes. And it's about time for you to what? Kick away that cup of opium and secure your flip-flop of common sense, darling dears. It also speaks about there's a lot of alcohol or drug taking going on in this home, darling dears. Yeah, you got to put a stop to that shiznai. There's a borderline addiction going on here. Yeah. But you will get clear, darling dears. And again, fire energy spirit is guiding you to what? Heal thyself. Remove yourself from unnecessary situations with people that are narcissists, that control, people that want to take your authority, darling dears. No, your mental health is your wealth, darling dears, because it affects your physical health. King of Cups, you was with someone who was disloyal. We've got 3 kings, an empress, and a page, plus the fool. Listen, how many people's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As many as 7 people, darling dears. We've got the 8th house, but this is the death and rebirth of you, darling dears. Your health is going to change, but there's as many as 8 people wishing bad luckiness, nastiness on you, darling dears. They see you as a fool. They see you as a king of wands, possibly. Maybe you took a risk in a situation with someone who was meant to be your empress, darling dears. You took a risk in a situation, but the recon wasn't there. There was no recon, right? One's energy is what? Jezebel's spirit. Revelations 2:20, darling dears. Yeah. Listen, everything's going to change once you change. It was a toxic situation. Recognize it for what it was, right? And you, going forward, you only give to people that celebrate you, not tolerate you or use you for anything. Your health is your wealth. All right, final card. The Queen of Wands energy is about you going forward. You look good. You look good. You don't wholeheartedly look like what you've been through, but if there's been drugs and alcohol, I see rehab, I see moving away, because once you move away from the situation that's causing you to what, self-medicate, darling dears, you realize you don't need that to be whom you are. Yeah, the lesson is don't be no dummy bat and no one's fool, darling dears. Yeah. Leave the what, the unlucky and the unhappy where they are. Page of Wands, you have a future ahead of you, darling dears. It also speaks about a message coming towards you. Some kind of travel, some kind of trip or an adventure. But your main lesson is what? To don't go into situations without doing a recon. You may have as much as 2 progeny involved in a situation. This partner that came towards you, there was definitely an age difference, but the mentality was not there. Learn the lesson and keep it popping and fresh. Let's get one final card. I'm going to go with the Making Magic Oracle cards. Final message for my water signs for the next 7 days. We've got Earth energy. Ask the element of Earth for grounding, stability, strength in times of chaos. This is a sigil, darling dears. You can draw it or you don't. It's your choice, darling dears. I'm a pointer, not a picker. If you do, keep the sigil on you for 7 days, 7 nights, and burn it when? At the next new moon, darling dears, on the 9th of February. Yes, baby, where you set your intentions. Why? Because it's in Aquarius. Aquarius, Pluto's in Aquarius. Yeah. And it's about groups, darling dears. Friendships. Your business contacts. How you make your money in your career. And it's also, the 11th house is also about your siblings. It's siblings that are sending all of this jealousy, envy, and hate at you, darling dears. You always thought differently, but it's over technology that they're sending it to you, darling dears, or they're talking amongst themselves. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks. If you would like a personal read with me, please hit me up in the Gmail. All of my intel is in the description box below. If you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified when I'm what? Scooting through these tarot streets, darling dears, because you know I'm here for a what? A good time, not a long time. And in that time, you get the usher. I tell it all. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat.
Hey, big cat, welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.